Welcome to Future Tech. Apple recently released the new Magic Keyboard for the iPad Pro, and that keyboard really is futuristic. It attaches with magnets, it gives the device an extra port, it makes the iPad float. So that got me thinking, what would the iPad Pro keyboard of the future look like? I came up with a few ideas, and these ideas range from the most possible one to a few crazy ones. Let's just jump straight into it. Let's start with what features you would want from a keyboard of the future meant for an iPad. First, in the future, I'd like to have a bigger keyboard for a more comfortable writing experience. Maybe we can throw in some function buttons as well. But since we're talking about an iPad keyboard, it should still be portable. I believe that iPads in the future will be even more powerful and they will be able to handle everything you throw at them, even full-on PC gaming, so I would like the keyboard to have mechanical switches. iPads are becoming more and more like computers, so this keyboard of the future should also come with a built-in trackpad. So, to summarize, we want the keyboard of the future to be bigger, with mechanical switches and with a trackpad, but also portable. Let's see our designs. But please keep in mind that these designs that I'm going to show you are just rough sketches. I quickly made them in Photoshop just to illustrate what I'm describing. These are not meant to be actual representations of what I came up with. Well, without any further ado, the first idea is the most simple one. Since keyboard technology advances every day, the Magic Keyboard of the future might look just like the current one, but with some better keys that will give you the feeling of pressing a mechanical keyboard switch. Let's expand on that. If you want the keyboard to be bigger, but still portable, it will have to fold. One of the most recognizable folding keyboards is the Microsoft Universal Foldable keyboard. But if the keyboard folds just in half, it won't be able to be part of the whole iPad case, and we want that. That means that the keyboard will have to fold down in 3 places, like those iClever keyboards. On the outside, the whole case would look like it does now, but once you open it, you fold out the 2 extra sides of the keyboard and you get a full-size keyboard for typing or gaming on your iPad Pro while still being portable. We can even add the trackpad to one side of the keyboard. This gives you extra steps to accessing your keyboard, which Apple might be against, but I think that this is still an elegant solution. Let's take this folding design to the next level, rolling. Let's take the concept of the Desk Sushi R1 keyboard and place it on the iPad case. It will give your iPad extra speakers, a place to hold it while carrying it, and of course, a keyboard. However, this type of rolling keyboard case can't fit a bigger sized keyboard. If I'm being honest, I'm not too fond of this design myself, but it's a necessary step to get to the next few designs. For the next design, let's take a look at Apple's competitors. I like Microsoft and their Surface Neo concept. What if the future Magic Keyboard of the iPad is just a second screen? It could open up many new ways of using your iPad. The second screen could act as both a keyboard and a trackpad. And maybe you can even change the configurations to what suits your needs best. But using a second screen as a keyboard means that when typing you can only use one screen. It's also kinda boring. Let's combine a few of our designs to make it a little bit more interesting. We can add a physical keyboard to our second screen, which you can then attach to different places of the screen with magnets. Similar to the Surface Neo keyboard, there could be many different configurations for using a physical keyboard with a second screen, but you'd have to keep the physical keyboard separate from the iPad itself. Let's get back to our folding keyboard design. We can add a folding keyboard to the sides of our second screen. That way, you could be typing and still use both screens at the same time. And you could fold down the whole thing into the regular size of the iPad. With this next design, we're slowly stepping into sci-fi territory. What if we use the rollable concept for the second screen? The technology kinda already exists. You can see it in action in LG's rollable OLED TV. This is how it would work. You have your iPad, but if you want a second screen that will act as your keyboard, you just attach a small cylinder to your iPad, which then rolls out to become the second screen. What if we expand the rollable screen to make it as big as we need it, something like the devices they use in the movie Red Planet? That way, we can have a full-size keyboard in whatever configuration we want. Let's get into full sci-fi mode with our last design, projected keyboards. They already exist, but what if there was a way to replicate the feeling of pressing buttons or keys? Maybe we can use a combination of force fields and holograms to create whatever type of keyboard we need in the moment. For example, if you want to quickly type something and reply to an email, you could turn on a smaller keyboard. If you want to game, you could make the hologram a full-sized gaming keyboard and a mouse. Oh, you prefer to play games with a controller? No problem. Take your pick. Whatever you want, you can have. You want to use an Apple Pencil? You can have that too. And when you don't need to use any accessories, there is nothing to get in your way. As a conclusion, I'm going to say that out of all of these designs, my favorite is of course the last one. But unfortunately, we are still pretty far from it, and we are probably never going to get it. But we can still dream. There you have it, my thoughts and designs for the future of the iPad Pro keyboard. What do you think? Which design was your favorite? Which do you think we are most likely to see? Tell me in the comments below. Also, please subscribe. And don't forget to tune in next time for more awesome talks and discussions about the future.